I'm going to say that if you think there are cows out there that don't identify as bulls, then you've never f***ed a cow.
When people ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken and snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing. Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters. And welcome to Conspiracy Social Club, aka Deep Waters, aka
Highway to the Danger Zone. Touchy subject.
Guys, loving me, loving you, loving Bryan Callen.
Sam,
Dylan,
whenever you're around, it makes me feel good.
It makes me feel good to be with you, Bryan.
Now, Dylan's having a hard time.
Dylan's having a rough one. Jury's out on him.
This podcast is going to be about 10 minutes because Dylan just had some issues with the controls and he's been very ill. What did you have, Dylan?
Yeah,
the flu.
Do you think it has anything to do with your cream-colored hat? Do you think anything with your cream-colored hat? I mean, that's a very weird hat for a grown man to wear.
I just want to say I'm pretty good at taking shit. I can't do it today.
Okay, all right.
My walls are down.
Okay.
Just you guys talk to each other today.
Holy shit, dude. Dylan is not in the mood.
Hot, coming in hot,
well,
bro.
the Wood Gypsy, it's all Wood Gypsy today.
Yeah, a lot of Wood Gypsy.
Wood Gypsy.
Dude.
I'm going to help you out. So I will say this. I worked with these scientists, Dan Garner, Andy Galpin. They have a company called Rapid Health. They put me on this supplement protocol. I got to tell you, I was always railing against supplements. I called Rogan 2 days ago. I go, dude, I'm sorry. He goes, why? I go, I've been making fun of you for all the supplements you take. I've never felt better and I never get sick. I don't even get the sniffles. And he goes, yeah, Bryan, I know. And I'm going through all the things. He goes, Bryan, you're talking to me. I know all this. So I'm gonna put you on a protocol.
Yeah.
Because I'm a doctor now. And all I need you to do is sleep more, but you're going to take magnesium at night. You're going to do a Greens Plus. You're going to do an Athletic Greens, or you're going to do a Greens Plus by Thorne.
I'm gonna.
Okay, hold on. Take it
Is
easy.
everything okay?
Take it easy.
Are we losing it here? Are we going?
Hey,
this is a conspiracy show.
dude, what the fuck?
You know what a big conspiracy is? Why haven't you bought tickets to my show? Go to samtripoli.com. Mississippi, Louisiana, San Diego. Tonight when this comes out, I think we got some shows at the Comedy Store. 2 shows, bang, bang, pow. And Sam's put together more acts. Don't worry about that. Daddy's ready to go out. I'm going to shoot something at the end of the month, at the end of June. Going to dump all this material and then bang, Daddy's going to get into it again. Where are you going to be, Bryan?
Stress Factory, baby. Stress Factory in New Jersey. You come see me. Then I got Memorial Day weekend, Helium Comedy Club. We'll see you then. Now,
Bryan.
yes, Sam.
I mean, like, you do the road a little more than I do, and I respect you for that. You don't tend to take off. I've decided I'm not doing holidays.
Well, I'm taking all of August off. I said it.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. You think we're better off? Let's start this conversation this way. Are we better off today than we were 50 years ago?
This is a great question because I know that through hard work and dedication, Daddy's doing very well. And I know that I come from blue collar people who've worked their ass off, and like it's the evolution of your family. Like each generation's supposed to do a little better job, a higher paying job, and stuff like that. So I personally think that we are we better off? I don't know. There's a lot of society stuff, like in terms of the homelessness and stuff like that seems to be but I think Americans are. I don't know. It's a hard question. I went a long way to say I don't know.
Well, 1973, 50 years ago, we were in a war. We were losing. The OPEC oil embargo put us in a recession for 10 years. I think that there were, if you were black or a person of color or gay or anything, it was a lot worse. It was a lot worse in a lot of ways. But there were institutions and communities. You know, it used to be like the Veterans Association, and you had the different the Elks Lodge and all those things. You had probably more neighborhoody places where life was a little more simple,
a little more structured.
Yeah, but was the news more propaganda and not less? Because there were probably 4 channels that you could
right.
Trust,
that's a great question.
Right, and we didn't really know that the mystery of life was still it's the mysteries of life kind of like resided in different pockets, and we didn't have the information. So you'd see bodybuilders in California, and that was a mystery, and you'd see, magician do things.
That's a great point, Brian. There was way more mystery.
Way more mystery.
And so if I wasn't on Twitter, I wouldn't know all the chaos going on right now. And I talked to the 2 guys here, and they're like, no, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. Like, what is your algorithm telling you? What is my algorithm telling me? We know things instantly, so it seems like now it's everywhere, right?
That's right. It's all local news.
Right?
It's all local news.
Yeah, great point, Brian. It's all local news. We know that some guy on the corner of 4th and Main stabbed somebody in Madison, Wisconsin, when 50 years ago, we would never have known that.
That's exactly right. That's the thing to guard against and keep in mind. That things are, I do think, like all generations, we have challenges. I think Gen Z has challenges we've never even had to face. How do they fit into the future? How do you fit into the blockchain? How do you fit into all the things, all the technology that seems to be making human beings kind of obsolete in many ways? It's scary. But I don't think any generation has not faced something like that, and we always evolve with the technology, and we figure it out as we go along. So I don't know. It's interesting.
So the question is, Brian, what the skill sets of a human being 50 years ago versus the skill set of a human being today?
Yeah.
Like there's people who look back, they're like, oh, they were smarter, they had longer conversations, they had all that stuff. If you took somebody from the 70s and put them in today, how would they do? And the answer is ask your grandma to use her iPhone.
Well, there are a lot of things. So I would say that abundance and convenience. So you don't have to wait I remember very well, you have to wait in a long line. You waited in lines way more in the 70s and the 80s because we didn't have the technology. You were in a car and there was a toll booth. You waited in that toll booth.
Oh, by the way, my mom
forever.
would pick the longest line to get into. I don't know if that's a woman's thing because Dana does it too. Where if there's like, let's say in the highway, you're driving and there's one lane that's going very slow, Dana will get in that lane. Like if we're waiting for the toll and I would literally see my mother, there'd be 11 cars in one lane and then all these empty, and my mother would get into the lane with 11 cars.
That's right. And so in this case, that wasn't the case. It was like, we don't do that anymore. We don't wait. You had to wait in line at a bank to get cash. We don't do that anymore. I can pay just with my phone. You didn't have access to, like you could say something and get away with a lie or get away with a point of view. One of the things about doing Rogan's podcast in the early days is I had a bunch of opinions and so did he, and we would just talk in the air. And then what happened was Google came along and went, that's actually not true. The origin of that word that you said came from this is not where it comes from. Or this, that, and the other thing. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
There were groups you could make fun of. I never forgot, I did Rogan's podcast. I was making fun of Indian people. I was making fun of their accent. I would never do that now. And somebody Somebody hit me on the internet and said, Bryan, please keep in mind, he said it very politely, that there are Indian people who listen to Rogan and your accent is insulting. I mean, he did it so well. Dude, it put me in my place. I was like, I don't want to do that. All of a sudden, the Indian person I was making fun of, or Pakistani or Sri Lankan or Bangladeshi or whatever it was, who I always assumed didn't even speak English. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, dude, we're immigrants too. We're American too.
Yeah.
We listen to Rogan too, and we get offended just like you would or anybody else would. and we're here. Like I was like, damn, bro. I became more compassionate.
Yeah, I know, but I also think that if there was something you could do back in the day, is you could shit talk each other, and today shit talking now is a felony.
Well, so that brings me to.
But Bryan, I just want to say, like it's very interesting because, like, I'm Armenian, right? I'm half Armenian. I have a tattoo commemorating the Armenian genocide. My great grandfather, okay, saw his whole family mowed down. Okay, that's a very personal thing. There is generational trauma with that. I hear people shit on Armenians constantly at the comedy clubs. Do I go nuts on these people?
No.
You just move the fuck on. But we've weaponized like having your feelings hurt. Getting offended is a felony now. And it's like, so what? You don't like the joke. Guess what? There's another joke coming, because what we do is we allow these people who get offended to manipulate us. And they show up. So, you know, we were just talking about somebody was doing stand-up at a comedy club or college, and this one's like, diversity, da-da-da. He's like, I can't see you, but I think you're a white chick, right?
Yeah.
And everyone laughed because she was a white chick, right? Because we allow these people to impose these rules on us because they're not comfortable with you. Even though there's a famous, I think, Indian comic who was on stage. He was on Rogan. And he was doing a show and everyone was enjoying it. 3 women walked up on stage.
He says you're making fun of black people.
And shut it down.
I mean, white people.
Because 3 people,
yeah,
the whole group.
Yeah, they were university administrators.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're qualified to make these jokes. This fucking loser. But you know what? I got news for you. This is as old as the Republic itself. And I would remind everybody, Lenny Bruce was convicted of obscenity, of word crimes. Lenny Bruce was one of the pioneers and was posthumously pardoned by Governor Pataki of New York. But I believe in New York State, he was convicted of under obscenity laws, of violating the obscenity laws, of speaking a certain way in public on stage, and that was a real thing. I think he had to pay a fine. I think he might have. Look it up. I think they're
4 months in jail.
What's that?
How is that not a violation of your Second Amendment?
4 months in jail.
4 months in jail.
Think about that. That was in the
violating
60s.
Penal Code 1140. It's an obscenity statute.
What year was that?
1962.
1962, ladies and gentlemen. So remember that. So we have come a long way. People are offended, always have been. But back then, the entire nation, status quo, was offended by anything you said.
What upsets me, though, is like how there's so many people that feel like we feel behind closed doors. And then in front of closed doors, out in the open, they're co-signing this bullshit.
Yeah, but you know what they're doing now? You know Peter Boghossian, you know who he is? Your fellow Armenian.
Bang, bang.
University of Austin professor. He is leading. He and a number of academics are now joining together. Jordan Peterson has his own group. There are a number of academics, Jonathan Haidt, powerhouse motherfuckers, who are creating their own communities to push back on this anti-scholarly bullshit of these non-social scientists who are posing as social scientists who literally have reams of papers that no one peer reviews, no one looks at, and they are published by the people that publish these things. So now they're published professors. There are zero standards. There are reams of bullshit get pushed on people in journalism, people in fucking government who think that this is actually academically sound information. It is not. And now you've got people like Peter Boghossian, a philosophy professor, teaming up with powerhouse people going, oh yeah, and you know what they did? They started publishing papers through a real professor that were all bullshit. So they published a paper about female bodybuilders who do porn. And the paper was, it's discriminatory because, and it was a paper promoting obesity for female bodybuilders who do porn. Because if it's just female bodybuilders who do porn, it makes Midwest women who are fat feel out of the loop and feel bad about themselves. And it got published. And they were publishing all these
just
fake
flooding
papers,
it.
flooding it,
Yeah.
and showing, and now they're going to show all the politicians and all the journalists what bullshit these universities have become. Do you know, what was it? I can't remember how much money you spend. You know why you spend so much money on colleges? Because of all the administrators. Because you've got safety administrators, diversity administrators.
Brian,
everybody's got their hand out.
And I'll also get into that. There's some darker point to that too, because if you can saddle somebody with credit, a lot of credit debt, right? It's a lot harder to start your own business.
Yes.
It's a lot harder to get off the ground. You have to run to a job that immediately pays you. And especially in medicine, Brian, if you're a doctor, they want you prescribing their drugs, pushing their illnesses, and they don't want you getting out of line. Because if you have, let's say, $400,000 in debt, and you see something that doesn't make sense to you, why are we pushing this stuff? They go, if you keep talking like that, we're going to take away your medical license. But guess what you still have is $400,000 in debt.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up, because the dermatologist took to social media and said, hey, everybody, all the skin creams that you use, all the moisturizer, all the eye creams that are sold, all of them are bullshit. And we don't even know we can't even tell you, as a dermatologist who studies skin on a microscopic level, we can't tell you not only how they don't work, how they don't work. And second of all, the creams that you buy, a lot of the creams that are proprietary creams you buy that break you out in a rash, he sees people all the time. It's like, you have no idea what the combination is, how much there is of it, how it stabilizes, 100%. How it changes. And so, and he said, but he even brought up Cetaphil and Neutrogena and all these huge companies that flood his office with samples. And so what happens is he takes those samples and gives them to his clients. He might use them himself. And now his clients go, hey, that cream you gave me works so well. Well, now sunblock does work, but these creams, these moisturizing creams, these youth serums, he was like, in your mind they work. It's the placebo effect. And I might say they work because I'm getting great reviews. So now it becomes dermatologist recommended. So Neutrogena, all those companies know exactly what they're doing. That's why they flood every dermatologist's office with all those samples.
Well, it's just like they don't want you connecting with the sun. I mean, there's people who do sun gazing. Brian, you ever stare at the sun?
I sun my balls.
You sun your balls?
No, but that's a thing apparently.
Yeah, people are sunbathing their beehole, which I believe is how you get to your soul. Well, is through your asshole. A soul.
Oh.
A soul. Asshole.
What?
Yeah, there we go, bro. We're in it. We're in it.
So should I gape at the sun?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure it kills a lot of bacteria.
Yeah.
Has your asshole ever seen the sun?
Has my asshole ever seen the sun? Yeah. Of course.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine hasn't. I don't think. I'd have to lie on my back and pull my heels.
Yeah.
Open. Hey, Dylan, have you ever done that?
Have you ever sunbathed your beehole, Brian? You ever
seen the sun, Dylan? You ever seen the sun?
I mean, Dylan? No? Okay. Dylan's having a day today. Let's move on. Dylan, what stories do we have? Do you mind if we ask you that? Brian, hey, Dylan. I've experienced this before. It's called 3-year-old girls. Would you like a lollipop? Would you like a lollipop?
Dylan is not well.
Dylan is not doing well. I want to give you a lollipop.
Holy shit.
Okay. So, Brian, we've discussed this before, but this is an old classic that I love to bring up to you. So, in 1986, exploding Challenger pilot Michael J. Smith is now an engineer professor at the university. And look at that, Brian. Yeah. Nobody died. Nobody nobody went in space. It's all a show.
It's all a show, huh?
Yeah.
And so why did they do this?
Brian, because that's what the kids call a false flag.
Why would they have a false flag?
Because one, it gets you a lot more funding.
It gets you more funding?
And it's traumatizing.
It's not embarrassing to NASA?
It's traumatizing, and it gets you more funding. which
what-
is a giant
so those people,
money laundering.
So those people weren't killed; they were just relocated.
Well, the internet wasn't out then, so there wasn't a permanent record. So they can go out and be like, "Oh yeah, I've heard that name." So these are the people. Bryan, look at this, bro. Look at this, dude. Look at this.
Okay.
So 2 of these guys suddenly had a twin brother that nobody knew about. There was no record of them having a twin. Now they suddenly have a twin.
So they didn't do aging.
Will you go to the guy? So you featured the one guy. Will you go? No, go down.
AI
go
didn't
down.
age them?
Go up to that chick. Yeah, that chick. There's videos of her when what's her name? Judith. When Judith would talk when she was young, she would be talking with her hands, right? You go to the Yale law professor, she's talking with her hands. Same exact name.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no video of these people.
Yeah, they are.
Where is it? Hey, Dylan.
You can look up
find,
Judith.
Can you find any video
Yeah,
of these people?
for sure.
And how come they haven't been interviewed?
They have been interviewed, Bryan, and they deny it.
Let me see. Let me see. That wasn't computer
Bryan, do you know
generated,
what?
was it?
Bryan, do you know what where they got NASA from?
National.
The Hebrew word nasha, to deceive.
That's not true.
Nasha.
No, it's an
Nasha.
acronym. NASA's an acronym.
No,
The
they just made it work.
Aerospace.
They just made it work.
What does NASA stand for? National Aerospace.
Bryan,
Dylan, I don't need you joining. I don't need you joining the conspiracy.
He's
I
coming.
don't need the fix.
He's
to be
coming.
in.
National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Do you think NASA lies about anything, Bryan?
Does
No,
NASA
I
ever
don't
lie,
think
Bryan?
It lies. NASA Aeronautics
Never
Space
lies.
Association.
Never lies,
Administration
Bryan.
or association?
Administration.
Yeah.
Bryan, do you think we landed on Mars?
Don't say Nasha. It's
Nasha.
it's an
Do you think
acronym.
Nasha landed on Mars?
I think that we had a rover that landed on Mars for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think all those people are faking it.
So the Japanese couldn't land on the moon, but somehow Nasha landed on Mars.
Japanese are not.
Gotcha.
The Japanese are good at copying technology.
Dude, the
not coming up
Japanese
with
sell
technology.
underwear in vending machines. They're way more advanced than us.
I just watched a Japanese a series on Netflix called Sanctuary about sumo wrestlers.
Yeah.
And it's a drama. No, it's a comedy, but comedy drama sort of thing. It's so good.
Would you say that show's
good.
made this the golden era of fat Asian actors?
I would say 100%.
This is the greatest years.
It is so unbelievable a show. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
And it's about a sumo school.
Are you familiar with the Sidonian face on Mars, Bryan?
No, Dylan, I'm not.
Bryan,
all right?
what do you mean you never heard the Sidonian face on Mars?
I don't
It's
know
well
what the
known.
Sidonian. I don't know what Sidonian means.
What does Sidonian stand for?
Sidonia is the region on Mars where they landed, where they found the picture. They took a picture of this face.
Yeah, on Mars, Bryan. Look at that. It's a face, Bryan.
guys,
NASA came out and said that this is an illusion, and they have a second picture debunking that this is a face. But when scientists went back to go find that second picture, the second picture didn't
Dylan,
exist.
can you stop making
Bryan.
quote signs with your fingers?
Yeah, well,
You
he
say
has to
that.
because it's a question whether it's a picture or not.
We put a rover on Mars.
No, we
Admit
didn't,
that.
Bryan. Bryan, no, we will not. Bryan. So do you think it's kind of weird, Bryan, that the picture that the Mars rover, okay, air quote unquote, took of Mars looks exactly like this area in, I think, New Zealand?
No, I don't think that's weird.
You don't think that's weird?
No, Sam.
I mean,
Sam.
almost perfectly lines up. You don't think that's weird?
No, because that's probably a deep
Oh, Greenland. Excuse me. It was in Greenland.
Yeah. That's it's Sam.
Bryan,
you
Nasha
know-
means to deceive.
Sam.
Okay?
You and your friends, with all due respect.
Yeah.
No, and I mean less than nothing. And I really mean less than nothing about about aerospace, about aeronautics,
Yeah.
about physics,
Yeah.
about space travel,
Okay.
about the math that goes
Yeah.
into putting
Yeah.
that rover
Okay.
on Mars,
Yeah.
about anything that has to do with science.
Okay.
Right?
Brian, yeah.
Anything that has to do with
Brian,
measurable
yeah.
science. And I
Okay.
mean all of your friends.
Brian, can I ask you
Especially
something,
David
Brian?
Weiss and all those
Has
kids.
science been doing really well lately? Has science been doing really well?
Science is definitely making incredible inroads in
Okay,
medicine and things
but
like that.
over the all the scientists with COVID, how's that been going? All the scientists with climate change, how's that been going?
Well, I'm glad you brought all that up.
Okay, thank you.
Science has done wonders in only a short period of time. Past 10 years, the progress we've made in childhood cancers, the progress we made in curing hepatitis C, gene therapy, protease inhibitors for AIDS patients.
Brian, have you
people
ever
just keep
heard,
living longer.
Brian, have
People
you
keep
ever
living longer.
heard
So-
of the law of duality? Have you
No,
heard of that?
I know everything about the law of duality.
Okay, tell me about the
don't
law
talk
of duality.
Don't bring up laws and science around me, though, because you've lost that privilege. Now
It's a phenomenon in nature. It means that two exact opposite results derive out of the same thing.
Thank you. So, Brian, what does that mean? What does that mean to you, the law of duality? That things have light and dark in all of them, right? So what you're talking about right now, Brian, is the light side of science. What I'm talking about is the dark side of science.
what would the dark side of science be?
The deception, the nasha, deceive.
No, because
yes,
Sam,
that's what
there's
I'm
no
talking about.
deception.
Can we play a game really quickly?
Yes.
It's called, is this a picture of Mars or is this a picture of Devon Island in Canada?
Okay, let's do this. Let's play a game. Let's play a
You're
game.
annoying
Yay,
me.
I love this game.
All right, is this a picture of Mars or is this a picture of Devon Island?
Well, that's
in
Devon
Canada?
Island because there's a road there.
Okay, all right.
All right, that was that was too easy. Fuck.
You know,
damn.
you're gonna have buildings next.
All right, is this a picture of Mars or is that a picture of
That's
Devon
a picture
Island?
of Devon Island, and the reason I know that's a picture of Devon Island is there's grass there.
Damn. Well, this isn't
Huh? What was that?
shit, man. That wasn't a
Doing a
very
terrible
good game
job,
at
huh?
all, yeah.
You're not. Hey, today, you're not good. I'm sorry.
But there's
not good.
actual examples. You could have nailed them.
You showed me a place with a road.
Dylan, you could have
and with
nailed them.
grass.
No. This is the thing. I wanted to do better, but Sam is in Fantasyland.
Oh,
We have
snaps. He was
landed
doing it
on
for you.
Mars.
Oh, you sabotaged me.
No. We have.
You are a saboteur,
have
bro.
landed on
You are a saboteur.
We have landed on.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
Oh, Dylan, can I make a request here, you saboteur?
yeah.
Can you look up Mars and New Zealand? Pictures of Mars match up with pictures of Earth. Can you do that for me? I believe it's New Zealand. No, Greenland.
Sam, look at me.
Mars and
Sam,
pictures
look at
of
me.
Greenland match up.
Sam,
Could you do that for me? Could you use DuckDuckGo too?
All your conclusions about NASA,
Brian.
are 100% wrong.
No, Brian,
right?
you are wrong.
They're all wrong.
You're
right? Do we know
wrong,
that?
Brian.
That you're wrong about the moon landing.
Oh, I am?
But you're so wrong. It's comical.
Okay.
You're so wrong that people won't even give it the time of day.
No.
Now, hold on. I'm not done. Now, when it comes to Mars, I don't want you to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
because You've lost your privilege.
No, I didn't lose my
And
privilege.
I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open.
Yeah, because you just got jizzed in your eye by truth, okay? Yeah, you got a money shot of honesty in your eyeballs, okay? And it's burning. The truth burns, doesn't it, Brian?
No.
It does.
No, it
does.
does. A little bit.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit.
Brian, NASA is a giant... Nasha. I gotcha! Bang! Bow, 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 bow. It's a giant money laundering scheme, okay?
Sam, again, you don't know anything about NASA. So, Sam.
Yeah, buddy?
What about their weather, the services that they do for weather? Like,
Oh, you mean weather manipulation,
No,
Brian?
Sam.
Thank
What I
you.
mean is- what I mean
Oh,
is
look
that
at this, Brian.
Our farmers all,
Okay.
But Sam, our farmers all use and our, what about our pilots, our
So, Brian,
farmers?
the picture on the left is what NASA told you Mars looks like. and the picture on the right is Greenland.
Bryan.
What?
The picture on the left, and this is unless I'm getting set up again by freaking saboteur, okay? Okay? The picture on the left is Mars,
Yeah.
right? And then the picture on the right is Greenland. And there's more examples of this, Bryan.
So none of that is true.
Okay?
None of that is true.
It's all true,
We
Bryan.
didn't put a rover on Greenland. We put a rover on Mars.
No.
And I need you to admit that.
No, we didn't, Bryan.
Admit that.
Bryan, how?
Admit that you're wrong. 100%.
Bryan, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I really want to ask you this.
Yeah.
And Dylan, you saboteur, you can jump in too. Why? So let me set this up. I love giving my daughters balloons. They love balloons. And I hand them the balloon, and then inevitably they let go of the balloon. They freak out because the balloon does what?
It floats.
It floats.
Yeah.
And why does the balloon float, Bryan?
The balloon floats because of what's in the balloon?
Hydrogen,
No.
helium.
Yes.
There we go.
See, you're terrible.
No, go on. Go
It's
on, Bryan.
helium.
Bryan, please don't be a grammar Nazi right
Okay,
now.
but-
Helium. Okay,
That's not grammar. You just got the thing wrong.
The
okay.
element. You got the
Fuck
element
you.
wrong.
All right.
You got the primary.
All right.
You got the
Fuck
primary
you.
element wrong.
Okay. All right. I got the element wrong. So is
primary
okay. Okay, Bryan. Helium. I'm stupid. All right. I flunked first grade.
Well,
And
No,
then,
it's
then
just-
don't talk about science.
Okay. No.
Because you
Well,
don't
go
know,
on, Bryan.
You don't know what to actually
Go on, Bryan.
listen to.
Go on, Bryan. There's helium in there.
So do you think that that there's such a thing as orbit?
Bryan,
orbiting the
answer
Earth?
the question. Why does the balloon flow up?
Because it has helium.
Okay, it has helium. And why does it float up? Because what does helium do?
I believe that helium is lighter than air.
Lighter than air. Okay.
Yeah.
But why does it float up? Because it's lighter than air. But does that mean that it's too light for gravity? Is that what you're saying to me?
I don't know. the
Why?
answer
Okay,
there.
you can get the saboteur jumping in. Why does the balloon float up? And you're Googling this, okay? So not Sam versus
Hold on. Are
Sam
you taking-
versus
Are you calling into question the theorem and the math and the theory of gravity?
No.
Electrons, neurons, quantum mechanics.
So I want to ask you, Bryan. I'm not questioning it. I'm asking you, are you telling me that the balloon is too light for gravity? That's all I'm asking.
I don't know.
Why does it shoot up, Bryan?
I don't know what the properties of helium are that
Okay.
cause it to do that, but we do know that air, some particles of air, so smoke
Yes.
rises above air.
Okay,
And
why?
Smoke rises
'Cause it's too
It
light?
has something to do with the ratio between heat and temperature.
Okay.
And pressure.
Okay.
So I think temperature and pressure would be the answer, but I don't know the
Why?
details.
Why? And when I do this, it falls. Why is that?
Gravity.
Gravity. But why doesn't the balloon fall?
I think it has something to do with mass versus gas.
Okay.
Yep.
But would you say, Bryan, it's a yes or
Density,
no answer?
Density plays.
Is it too light for gravity?
No. It has nothing to do with gravity. It has nothing to do with gravity. It has zero to do with gravity.
That falls because of gravity,
We have-
but a balloon goes
we
up
have-
doesn't
we
have
we
anything to do with gravity?
We have very measurable, tangible answers to
Okay.
this. But we fly planes using these kinds of laws, which is why you don't have to think about it. We live
Bryan,
our lives
why
in this
doesn't the
Newtonian
balloon
reality.
fall down?
I found the answer.
What is the answer?
What is it?
Here it is.
Hot air, cold air. Okay. But why does it go up? Why? You guys
Density.
can't
I just
answer
said
this.
Density.
Gravity
Hot air
is
is
this
less
thing
dense.
that just makes everything fall.
But why doesn't the balloon?
What are you saying?
The question is it too light for gravity? And you guys won't answer it.
No, Sam,
that's a
Sam,
bad
you have to
framing.
Sam.
No, it's
Too
not a
light
bad
for
framing.
Sam,
It's a simple
Sam,
question.
this is
Why
where-
doesn't the balloon
Sam,
fall down like
this
everything
is
else?
where you have to stop.
No, Bryan.
Because you don't know anything.
No. Why
And
doesn't
you're
the
asking
balloon?
you're asking the worst question.
No, I'm not, Bryan.
That any
I'm answering
scientist-
a question you
that
refuse to
any
answer.
scientist could
Why
answer.
doesn't the balloon fall
Sam,
down?
you're asking, like,
Why?
You're doing that thing where you're going, well, tell me then why I
Why
watch Kung Fu
doesn't the
and a
balloon
guy,
go down?
Why then?
Why?
Why then did the guy
Why,
fly through the
Brian?
air in Crouching
Because
Tiger,
it's too
Hidden
light for
Dragon?
gravity to
And you just go,
control.
what?
It's too light.
For gravity
yeah.
to control?
Yeah.
Sam, you have to stop talking.
No, you have to shut up.
You really do.
You have to
Because
shut
you're
up.
just saying, you and your friends say the dumbest
No,
stuff.
Brian.
This is
because
where
if it
you
was
have to shut
controlled
up.
by gravity,
Sam,
it would go down.
No, Sam, you shut up.
No, you shut up.
No, for real though. You have to shut up.
Tell me why.
In the name of
Go
science.
out there, grab anybody
Sam,
out there, and somebody
Sam,
tell
Sam.
me high air
Sam.
go up, cold air go
Sam,
down.
In the name
what
of
does that
science,
mean?
Sam, in the name of science, watch
High
this.
air is less dense than cold air, so it rises,
Yeah. Sam.
which means gravity has no control over it. Why is that hard to understand?
Sam, stop talking.
No,
about
you
gravity.
shut up.
And you have to shut up.
No, you shut up.
Okay, Sam, let me ask you a question. How is it that these inanimate objects that are pointing towards us,
Yes.
I really want to know, how are these inanimate objects and these things,
Yeah.
how are they able to broadcast my image in real time
Yes.
anywhere on
Yes.
the planet?
Yes.
Anywhere
What
on
does
the
that
planet.
have to do with what we're talking about?
How does that work?
What does that
How
have
does
to
that
do
work?
with what we're
Do you
talking
know how,
about, Brian?
Do you know how the...
What does that have to do with what we're talking
It's
about?
about science. Do you
no,
know?
is
do you
this
know-
is this what they call straw man
No,
argument?
No.
So wait,
No.
Sam, I'm gonna get to
Yeah.
it. The electromagnetic
Oh, this is a
field.
great answer because of satellites on balloons. Thank you, guys.
You
there
think-
we go.
You think satellites are on balloons?
Yes, I do.
You don't think that there are satellites?
think
that are
satellites
just
on
orbiting?
balloons. Yeah, 100%.
You don't think that satellites just orbit?
Nope.
Sam, shut up.
No, you shut up.
You have to shut up.
No, I won't.
You don't know anything about
satellites are on balloons. Thank you.
Sam,
I think the issue is that Sam has a fundamental misunderstanding of what gravity
he has such a.
What is
fundamental-
gravity
Sam
then?
has a.
Tell me what gravity
hold on,
is
hold on.
then.
Sam has a fundamental misunderstanding.
I love it, guys.
The
The
sentence
guys have
ends-
been wrong about everything.
The sentence
Suddenly
ends,
are right
the
about
sentence
this.
ends with Sam
You
has
got
a
me.
fundamental
I'm just
misunderstanding.
asking a question,
He lives
Brian.
in a world where he benefits from science across
What
the
you
board
guys
every
can't
day,
tell me
and
is,
he's like, you
does
know,
gravity control the balloon? That's all I'm asking.
no, you're not allowed to ask
Does
a dumb
gravity
question.
control the balloon?
You're not allowed to
it's
ask
a
a dumb
question.
question.
Does gravity control the balloon?
The same reason.
Well, okay, Dylan, answer the fucking question then.
Does gravity control clouds? Why aren't clouds
Because they're
falling
too
to the
light for
ground?
gravity.
But, so what do you
Sam.
So,
Sam.
so would you agree
no,
with that?
Sam. That's not why.
Why?
You dummy.
Why, you dumbass?
Dumb.
You dumbass.
Do you know how gravity works?
Dude, that's what I'm asking you.
Centrifugal
How does
force.
gravity
Centrifugal
work?
force.
Right?
Right.
So if something's too light for it,
I'm gonna sound
it
like
doesn't
an idiot 'cause I'm talking
control
about
it.
science that I don't
Okay,
know.
there you go.
What
I'm
do
over
you-
it.
what-
You guys can't answer it.
But what do you?
That doesn't mean it's not. That doesn't
Yeah,
mean
'cause that means one of two
Sam,
things.
Saying things are too light for,
For
gravity.
gravity,
A
that-
feather
Yeah.
does what?
Like,
But why?
why? Because of gravity. If that's what
No,
you want to believe
wind
it is.
resistance.
It's too light for air.
No, but you're
But it falls to the ground.
Yeah. Because
and-
it's too light for
and
air.
so does ultimately a helium.
And by the way, they've never proven gravity.
what?
Ever.
What are you?
Sam, shut
Yeah.
the fuck
no,
up.
I won't shut the fuck up.
Sam,
I won't,
Sam, you
Brian.
have to shut
I
the
will
fuck up.
not.
How do you
shut
think
up.
planes get off the ground? Shut up.
No, I won't.
You have to
I
shut
won't,
up.
Brian.
How do
They've
planes get
never
off the ground?
ever proven gravity.
How do
They've
satellites?
never been able to prove
Sam,
gravity.
yes, they
it's
have.
never been proven.
Sam,
We've
shut
already had
the
this
fuck
discussion.
up.
What are
no.
you driving at?
Yeah, what are you driving at?
If the balloon is
So
too
what does-
light
what
for
causes
air,
this, Sam?
which means
Wait, Sam.
gravity doesn't control it, and we are spinning at 17,000 miles an hour.
we're not.
Why doesn't the balloon fly off?
There are
Why doesn't the balloon fly
Sam,
off?
there are scientific explanations
Okay, I'm
that are
asking you to-
set
Now
that,
listen.
that are true.
Yeah.
You're just saying shit.
What is
You're-
it?
You're going,
What
how
is
come
it, Brian?
we can see
What
a cell?
is it?
Why
I'm
can't we
asking
see
you
a
guys
cell?
this.
Why does a cell
And it's
behave?
one of two reasons. Either we're not spinning or we're in a compartmentalized
no, dumb,
freaking
dumb.
thing.
That's
no,
not
dumb,
one
dumb.
of two
yeah,
reasons.
100%.
Shut the
No, you
fuck
shut
up.
You
Your
shut.
ignorance is
Just explain
beyond-
it to me.
No, we
You
are-
don't know anything,
You
literally.
don't know. Brian, we
You're
literally have a show where you've been
You
wrong
don't
the
know
whole time.
anything about anything.
Yeah, I do know
Sam,
everything about
Sam,
everything.
we
are
live
in
a world.
a compartmentalized
Sam,
fucking
shut
dome.
up.
That's what I'm
Sam,
saying.
shut up. We live in a world where we live in a fucking world. We live in a world where you benefit from science literally every day.
Oh, God.
And just because you can't explain
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that the science in this doesn't
This is
harness
all you have,
satellite
Brian.
technology.
This is literally
how does
all you
GPS
have.
work with satellites,
Yeah,
right?
this is all because they have satellites on balloons.
We
They're
are
not on balloons.
we're-
Why are you saying balloons? It's so dumb.
We're
It's
in a
balloons.
contained.
It's so
You
dumb.
said we're in a contained environment,
Yeah.
right? We're in a contained environment because of gravity.
No, dude, no.
Yes, the
No.
spinning, the
No.
centrifugal
What do you
force
mean?
No.
contains
No.
the
What do you mean?
atmosphere. and
It makes no
allows-
sense because you
guys
don't know
have
anything.
No freaking clue.
Sam,
Complete
you don't
bullshit
know
story.
anything.
I do know everything.
You're saying it doesn't make sense
I know
'cause you're
way more than you.
completely ignorant
I
to
know way
science.
more than you.
Like there's a whole body of science. So
Yeah,
all these scientists,
we are under a dome.
all these scientists are
We're
wrong.
under a dome.
All these scientists are wrong.
We've never left
Einstein.
We've never gone through the firmament.
Oh, everybody.
Ever. Never.
You're so ignorant.
Ever.
We have to move on.
He says the dumbest shit.
No,
in the
dude,
air.
I say those smartest stuff.
have to
and you
shut
say
up.
the
Listen,
dumbest
Please,
stuff.
we need a card where he has to shut up
No.
for
Called
the whole
red-
show.
Okay, well,
Okay, hold
that's
on.
unreasonable.
Hold on, dude.
Red card,
I'm
dude.
gonna burn these
He gets a
cards
fucking
because
red
now
card.
they haven't become anything.
Your Honor.
What are you talking about?
Your Honor.
They haven't become anything.
Your Honor.
They haven't
Your Honor, I
become
have a red card.
anything.
No, he gave you a red card. You have to stop.
I might walk off.
I'm ringing the bell.
You didn't ring anything,
I'm ringing the bell
Brian.
in the name of
Brian,
science.
you didn't ring
I'm ringing the
anything.
bell in the name of
No,
science.
no. See, this is what happens, bro. Brian is cheapening these things.
Unbelievable.
Everything has been cheapened, and you've allowed it. You saboteur.
Sam,
you are a
Sam
saboteur.
Goes, Sam goes, it makes no sense. I know because you have
are
never
a
studied
saboteur.
science.
You want to talk about cheapening?
Let's
things.
go. Keep going.
You got a red card and you keep talking. You're supposed to be quiet for 30 seconds.
No, more than that.
We need
a
to
red
get-
card's got to cut.
I'll be quiet for 30 seconds
A
under
red card's
protest.
got to come
Under
No, a red
protest.
card's got to come with
I'm
more
under
than
protest.
that.
Okay, well,
Count it. Put it up.
We gotta wrap up soon because I was late today and I apologize. So for just and you've been silent. So
Okay, let
this
me
is
just
gonna
say
lead
this.
Into, we need to talk about how the Royals are baby eating Germans.
You're
Just
not
really
allowed
quickly.
to say things like that are this stupid. All right, so I won that. Now he should sometimes there. You know what the red card is? It's got to be shut up, Sam.
Well, you can get a red card too. What are you talking about?
because I never spew that kind of nonsense.
Yeah,
Brian,
you do.
all
You spew
the time.
nonsense all the time.
I was
what-
quiet for 30 seconds.
And what
Yeah, you
about
were.
how much time do we have? What about the baby royals? It's 10:30. You got to run.
I gotta go in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Give me the baby royals.
The baby royals, they're not British. They're not British royals. They're of German descent.
What do you mean? How far back?
What part of that statement
How far
didn't you
back?
understand?
How far back? How far back? This is good. Hold on. How far back?
That's a great question.
What would you
I
say,
don't
though?
have that
What would you say,
number
though?
offhand,
What would you say, buddy?
but I know
What
they
would
were
you say?
installed they are not of German descent.
They are of German
No,
descent.
I mean they are not of British descent.
were installed
They're
by-
not descents of King James.
And they were installed by the German who?
They were installed by most likely the black nobility.
Okay, and they were German? I just want to know because I just like to do something here.
What?
So they're German.
Who?
You just said that the royals are ultimately
Of
German.
the German descent, yeah.
Good. So they're German descent. Do me a favor. Can you look up for Sam when Germany was actually a country?
Well,
You're a dumbass
What?
and you think that
What?
is what matters.
What? Can we look up when Germany was actually founded?
This guy's
as a
so
country?
dumb.
I'm pretty sure it's
I'm
like the
fighting
late
stupid right now.
1800s or early 1900s, but that's a technicality that
So
I'm fighting stupid.
So the geography is relevant. The geography.
I am fighting stupid.
So you're saying that some people who were on the British Isles may have migrated from a certain area? That's news?
We're saying they're not the descendants of royals. That's what we're saying.
They're not?
They were installed
By when?
by powerful dark arts, 13 family, black nobility motherfuckers. That's what we're saying.
When was that?
I don't know the exact date.
Of course you don't. Why are you saying it out loud?
Because it's facts.
And also, what do you think the black nobility and all these 13 families, they installed a British
waged a war
monarchy that
against
has
the
no
royals.
relevance?
They've waged a war against royals, and that's why the Rothschilds have been trying to interbreed with them.
So they waged a war against royals.
Yeah.
To what end?
To what?
The royals don't have any power.
Well, they did, Brian. Would you agree on that?
You
At
mean-
some
you
point,
mean back in? You mean when in the 1700s?
Brian, The family that is in Britain, in Buckingham Palace, is not the direct descendants of the British royal family. Okay, it's just a fact.
And
just
that
because you refuse
so-
to understand it.
And I see. So they're not direct descendants, and that affects anything. How that affects anything? How your point is?
The point is they're not descendants of royals. That's a big issue. You are supposed to be of royal blood. I think the whole idea of royals is ridiculous unless they're descendants and sent here by God. Okay,
And how do you know that they're not descendants? How do you know Queen Elizabeth is not a descendant of the monarchy?
George,
Did they kill all of them and install? Who'd they install? Who did they install?
Georg August Frederick took over his father's lifetime as Prince Regent in 1811 and was crowned King George IV in 1820.
Okay.
The next king with a predominantly German bloodline.
Okay, and that means what?
They're not the descendants of royals. What part of that don't you
But
understand?
why would that matter?
I mean,
Because
what?
bloodlines
Are you
the
stupid?
only thing that matters.
Can
in
I ask you something,
royalty.
Brian? Are you dumb or stupid? Which one is
And
it?
you think that happened because it wasn't a military alliance? You think it was because the black nobility
Yes,
and 13
it's
families?
about destroying the royals.
you
That's a
think
whole
it's-
Bolshevik revolution,
Do you
Brian.
think it's odd that their name was Saxe-Coburg and they renamed it Windsor?
Yeah, Brian. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
This is the kind of insanity I need you to
Yeah.
stop thinking
No,
about.
Brian.
Sam?
Brian, the L's.
Sam,
Brian, no.
No,
I'm tired of it. I'm getting rid of it.
I
I'm getting
want
rid
him.
of those.
No.
You
I
have
want
abused
Sam
them.
to
You
stop
have abused
talking
those.
about the royals, the black nobility. None of that exists.
It's all real,
I want him to
Brian.
stop talking about Antarctica. I want him to stop talking about science across the board.
Yeah.
I don't want him thinking about any of that stuff. Just do comedy and read books and then come to me with actual evidence like we
Okay.
did last time.
Okay.
This is where you get into it's so crazy.
Hold on, he just gave you factual evidence that a German family took over the royal.
A German family didn't take over
hi-
anything. A man married into that was there. They were always with the British and the French and the Germans, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. There were always not
The
only
Austrians were Nazis.
Excuse me. Not only were their alliances. There were alliances.
Oh God!
He's doing
But
Trump.
the way you did
Oh.
an alliance was you married your daughter. You cross-married. You always cross-married between royal families. That's as old as monarchies itself. It's how you created alliances. No historian would dispute that. It made sense. It's pooling of resources. More importantly, it's making deals with another army so you could take over another army. Okay.
Brian,
Not a very good
You're a retard.
Donald Trump impersonation.
listen,
I have to work on.
I got to be honest with you. It's very hard to
But that's why,
to
right?
debate a gay
But that's
cow.
why.
A gay cow. A gay cow.
All right, bring it up.
Were you playing a gay cow?
Look, I was.
Okay,
playing
can you
a gay
explain
cow.
this character? A gay cow.
So Stephen had they have a sponsor called Good Rancher, and this was a commercial for them. And Stephen was like, "Go do a cow thing," and then the joke was, "I went too far." So I'm getting beaten by a cow. I don't remember. I didn't see it.
What?
Yet. I didn't
It
see
looks
yet.
like you're playing a gay cow with a gay cowboy.
I am.
What is
I
that?
Basically,
But
am.
you know cows are female.
Oh, I know.
So what is going? Are you a lesbian cow or are you just a
I'm
cross-dressing
56 years old, and that's what I do. I'm 56.
What is it?
That's how I make my living.
Playing? Did you
Steven
just misgender a cow?
Yeah, when Steven pitched it, I jumped at it so quickly. I go, "Where's the cow outfit? I want to get spanked by
And
a
what?
cow."
Give me real quick.
The idea is like Good Rancher.
What was your what notes did they give your character?
He was like, "You're a cow on a ranch and a cowboy, and you've been a bad cow." And I was
Okay.
like, "Say no more. Where's the cow suit?" And I basically was like, "Just whip me," and I'll be like, "I've been a bad cow." And it's supposed to be like the cows are the Good Rancher has really good meat.
Yeah.
It's like really good meat.
But don't you eat the meat of Bulls? Do you eat the meat of bulls,
no.
but you also eat the
No,
meat
you
of cows?
eat meat. Well, actually, so cows are dairy. You have dairy farms where the cows are milked.
Okay.
And then I believe we actually eat steer, don't we? We eat steer. See what we eat. We also eat dairy cows when they're old, but I think for the most part, you're right.
Brian, can we play a little thing called the Actor's Studio? Yeah. And I want to interview you as an actor. Okay, here we go, real quick. Brian Callen, actor, thespian, podcaster. Your recent role as a mischievous cow. Can you tell us a little bit about the character and the choices you made as an actor?
Well, I think that most of us think of a cow as a ruminid that with several stomachs that just chews grass all day and moves. And there is a lot of truth to that. But I was interested in the hidden life of a cow. We know that cows have sex, and my thought was, what is going on when that happens? What happens to a cow's brain when they are horny and they are receptive? And
Brian, you've received criticism from the LGBTQ Star Spangled Banner, and they're upset because a cow is female, but you might have misgendered it.
Yes, I think that if people can have gender dysphoria, cows can too. And if you're going to tell me that there are cows that don't think of themselves as bulls,
so you're playing a female cow
on a farm
that is playing a gay man.
I'm going to say that if you think there are cows out there that don't identify as bulls, then you've never fucked a cow.
And that is the Actor's Studio. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Daddy's got to go do daddy duty. Take care of some stuff. One more time, go to BrianCallen.com for all of his dates. Go to SamTripoli.com for all of my dates.
Brian won.
Yeah!
That's so ridiculous. I'm embarrassed for you. I'm embarrassed for you. When people ask, is everything a conspiracy? The answer is yes.
Who and what is controlling everything and why? They practice sorcery. I can't argue against magic.
I don't know what it is that we live on, but I believe it's a realm. This realm that we live in is the lowest level of heaven, highest level of hell.
Chicken snake gods and the Anunnaki and sorcery. If Sam says the chicken and snake god is running everything, I'm literally in the world of crazy. I'm winning.
You're losing. Conspiracy Social Club, a.k.a. Deep Waters.